Shut up and sit down.
I want to say welcome to episode 174 of Third Shift. Tonight is a goofy episode because it's just our game of the years, boys and girls. We're just having some fun. We're going to tell you all about it. I don't know what's happening with Matt yet. He's La Lucha Comore, you know.
You don't even remember. You don't
I
even
do remember.
It's shameful. It's a shameful
It's a bit.
display.
Don't at me. God bless. So, of course, we're here to have some fun. Goofy laughs. 174, as I said. Let's just get it going by, of course, saying, hey, are we going to do the weeks? Because that was the only part we didn't discuss. We're skipping right by the...
We have to do the weeks.
Okay.
Dude, this is
it's
tradition.
All right. So we're going to start off by saying, how was your week, Danny?
My week was good. It was, stressful because Christmas. But Christmas went well. My parents came down and we had Chinese food and we had cinnamon rolls in the morning and
Nice.
watched Reese open her presents, and she was really excited about a lot of things. She got Woody from Toy Story, so she was
Nice.
absolutely excited about that. Yeah, other than that, I really haven't done much this week. Just, get all that work done so you can have that day off for Christmas, and yeah, that's it.
Oh, standing.
What about you, Eric? What have you been doing this week?
Oh, well, Santa Claus came and went. It was fantastic. Christmas trees up, the gifts all there. The night before, set out the cookies and the milk. And in the middle of the night, all the little rats and mice playing. Then they pause. And then the thing comes out. And you hear and then it goes away. And then, lo and behold, an extra couple gifts from Santa Claus. The kids wake up. You got coffee going. Oh, man, they're ready to go. They don't give you even 2 seconds. They're ripping open their stockings, and you got everybody going, wait a minute, I want to take pictures.
No time for pictures.
Nah. They're passing out gifts and ripping open gifts, and we're doing these gifts at this time. Oh, too late. And then everything's
As
open.
it should be.
And then you're like, what just happened? And then the kids go, and then it's like, what? Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go like this. And you watch Christmas shows all day.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's over. There you go. And bam, then we're back to work. Yeah. Back to work. Back to the grind. Stomach. Hey, everybody, in case you didn't know, spoiler, I didn't get sick. But today I was having hot and cold flashes. I still am. So I don't know what that means. But I'm having hot and cold flashes.
You're reaching menopause, Eric.
Probably.
It's menopause
I
time.
am almost dead. I mean, I'm like 40, so what do you want from me? So hot, cold, stomach goes, hey, I don't like you. Then it's back to normal. I don't know. Maybe I'm still going to get it. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. My body's been doing a great job. It's going to keep doing a great job. Game-wise, I've been playing all sorts of stuff. Hey, you know what I've been playing? We play that Destiny 2 Shadowkeep.
That's great for you, Eric. I'm glad you're having fun with that.
Thank you. I'm so happy you're happy. Oh, beyond that, of course, a little bit of World of Warcraft Classic. Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then, to top it all off, that's about it. No, I'm just kidding. I was playing Borderlands, of course, getting through the new DLC and that. I'm almost done. I thought I was almost done, but maybe I'm not. I don't know. I think I'm getting close because we're reaching that around 7-8 hour marker of playing, so I got to be getting on the edge. I've been doing all the side quests as well, so that's been tying me up a little bit, and then just doing a little searching and gumbing around. I decided to stop and farm a little bit, but all in all, a great time, a great week. Of course, lastly, real quick, did see Star Wars. Oh, man. I loved it. What a way to tie the series up, end it all up. Anybody who's hating on it, you guys are just stupid. And that's what I'm going to leave it with. There you go. Matt, what about you?
Nobody has even mentioned This is the return of the Golden Matt.
Ah, yeah, I
When
know.
Matt
I
gets
know.
his
Come
golden
on.
hood on, he's
All
positive all the
positivity.
time. That's right. He loves everything. And what better episode to bring the Golden Matt back for than the Game of the Year special? But this week, I had a fantastic week. Went to a Lansing Symphony Orchestra Holiday Pops concert. Listened to all the holiday songs. They had the MSU Youth Chorale there too, so you got the choir aspect of it. They had the guy who played Sammy Davis Jr. in the Rat Pack show that they had earlier in the year. He came back, did a lot of solo stuff. Absolutely fantastic. That was a lot of fun. Also, did not do anything else. Like, I didn't go see any movies, no other shows. On the video game front, haven't been playing a whole lot. But on the Christmas front, had an awesome Christmas. Went and ate great food with Mom, and then we went to the extended family's house, to my cousin's house, and he and his wife and his sister and her husband and their mom and my mom and me were all there. It was a great time. There were like dogs running all through the house, like because there were 4 dogs there, so it was
No,
great
get
seeing
those
new
dogs
dogs
out of there. Get
and
the
having
damn-
fun with family and friends. And just, hey man, I've said it before. No, I don't even have to justify it because I'm the
You're
golden
Matt.
Matt.
It's
And
all
everything
happy
is
and
golden.
golden. That's right.
That's right. Everything is happy and golden. And I can't wait for this episode of Third Shift because I get to talk about my favorite things in the world. The best video games I've ever played in my whole life. Boom. There it is. That's it. That was my week. Because there's a team this week. Who cares? It's the game of the year show.
Yeah, that's right.
Who even cares? It's time for what were your honorable mentions for game of the year this year. We're going to start it off like we always started off with Danny. What you got, Danny?
God. I have a lot of games. Let's see. Kingdom Hearts 3 is an honorable mention.
No, it's not. No, it's not. You're lying
Why
to
not?
All you guys did was talk about how much you disliked it, but that's great. You think it's an honorable mention. I love it.
love
You
the
make me
fact-
go to
I
war with the
still-
false persona. The real persona inside is trying to bust out. Look, it's like busting
was
the
like
seams,
real
the
mess.
zippers coming out. Oh my god.
I still enjoyed it. I mean, it's still part of the Kingdom Hearts franchise. I mean, I still played it. It's a game that I spent time on, and I enjoyed aspects of it, and I still want more Kingdom Hearts after it, so it's still good enough to be mentioned.
All right.
I will
Hey, it's
say
your
that.
list.
Hey, and you mentioned it honorably, so you can't go wrong with that.
So another one I want to mention is 999 for the Nonary games. I played that one this year, and it was awesome. And it makes me want to play the rest of them, which I hope I'll get to do eventually. I have a lot on here, but I don't. I'm trying to quickly think of what my top 3 are.
You just listed every game you played as an honorable mention. You're
I
just
did.
being all.
This is. Well, I know. Hey, that's great, Danny. I'm glad you go in here with no prep whatsoever. It's fantastic that you do that, and it makes you feel good. Ah, the golden basket burns.
You're not going to survive the night.
I'm not gonna make it. It's gonna
It's
have
just,
to come
it's
off.
just an attempt to make you take the mask off. All right.
It's also very hot under here.
Yeah, I bet.
I also have my sweatshirt on.
Oh, yeah. You're going to raging. Whew. I got a long
gonna
sleeve
make it.
shirt, but that's about it.
The last one I'll mention is Detroit Become Human. And it was great that PlayStation did that as a free game, because I don't know if I would have ever thought to pick it up and play it. Because, I mean, I saw it was a big hype and everyone was loving it, but I don't
It's a
gravitate
great game.
towards the hype games because they're too hyped and it'll let me down if it's not as great as everyone says it is. But it was a great game. I enjoyed it a lot. It was really fun to just the 3 stories and how they all wove into each other, and it was a great game. So those are my honorable mentions.
Oh, fantastic. You didn't mention every game. Look at that.
No,
Wow.
I didn't. I had to restrain myself.
All right. So who are you passing these honorable mentions to, huh? Who gets to go next?
Let's go to Matt before he suffocates.
Yes, I love honorable mentions because I'm so happy that I got to play these games this year. First up on their honorable mentions, a game I played a lot recently that really just got its hooks in me. I played it to the platinum. Got to say Beat Cop. That just, as soon as I booted it up, I was happy. The thumping synthwave soundtrack, the tall, skinny pixel people, amazing, loved it. Next up, Alien Isolation. Thanks, Howard, for lending it to me so I could play it for Friday Night Frights and get the bejesus scared out of me on many occasions. That game was awesome and wonderful. Really, really loved it. Another one, The Messenger. I still haven't finished that one, but playing through it, and when you get in the groove with The Messenger, especially with the platforming, it feels so good. I won't say there's nothing else like it, but I haven't played too many games like it. When you're hitting like all the jumps perfectly, and you don't really know how you're doing it. You're just in that flow state, and the jump arcs are so tight that you can't not do it, but it doesn't feel like you should be able to do it. It's so good and so fun. I love it. Another game to mention on the honorable mentions. There's one that's definitely honorable mention. Valkyria Chronicles 4. Obviously I played Valkyria Chronicles 1 until I got to that impossible mission. Valkyria Chronicles 4 was everything I loved about Valkyria Chronicles, and I never hit an impossible mission. I haven't beaten it yet, so maybe it's still out there. But it was a lot of fun playing through on the Rise and Shine streams earlier in the year. And then there's a game that's either a third place or an honorable mention. I don't know. Maybe I'll just have to two for it on the third place.
Oh, that's illegal.
My friend Eric.
All right. So I've gone back and forth in my head all day, yesterday and today, on these honorable mentions, third, second, first, of course. I play too many games, and there's too many games that have a spot for me, all right? But here we go. I'm going to try here, and I'm going to fail because I'm going to leave out one or two that I wish I could talk about. Honorable mention number 1 is Division 2. Division 2 was amazing. It was everything it should have been, could have been, and was supposed to be. But nobody I know played it long enough to really do anything in the end with it. So it got to the point where it kind of just disappeared for me. And it was sad because I loved that game. I loved that game all the time. Had fun every time I played it. But it just didn't work out. So it's like in an alternate reality where Eric kept playing it and was rating and doing all that stuff, it would probably be in the top 3 for this year. Yeah. Unfortunately, due to the fact that it disappeared, I can't put it there.
I feel like that's one that should have come out as a PS Plus free game by now. Like in September or something, to give it a little shot in the arm and get everybody back playing it. Or, people like you who played it could be like, hey, all my friends, get it because it's free now. Everybody jump in.
I'll start a new character and just come play with you. Or don't even have to do that because they do the scaling. So it'd work out no matter which way you did it. Yeah, that'd be a good idea, but I don't foresee it happening, unfortunately. Now, beyond that one, I want to give a quick shout out to Anthem as well. And Anthem, the reason I say this is because a complete failure of a game at the end. But the fun I had while being Iron Man and then the hype getting to it was just fantastic. Everybody thought this was the second coming where everyone was going nuts. Everyone was excited. The graphics were great. The mechanics were awesome. The leveling, some people said the story wasn't that great, but that was only people that were expecting the full-on story, instead of just the hybrid, which is what it was. I thought it was awesome. And then it got to Endgame, complete garbage, fell apart. They learned nothing from all these other looter shooters that have been out forever. I don't understand it to this day. Doesn't matter. We're not here to discuss it. Just saying I have to put it there because of the moment in time that it had for me. I enjoyed it and had a great time with it.
Now that's one I keep seeing on sale, like the base game for like $20. And I keep telling myself I should get it because just the gameplay looks fun. So for $20 or heck, another PSN free game, it'd be an awesome idea. I would pick it up and play it through to the end. And I don't really care about Endgame because that's not me. But I see it all the time and I'm like, man, maybe. But I know it's,
I would say, man, if you see it for like $10, $15, yeah, it's worth it. It's for sure worth it. It would be worth more if they'd ever fix it, which they say is coming since someday, but who knows? I don't know. That's a discussion for another day. So the last one I'm going to mention this time around, and this is where I had the hard time. This is where I'm like, maybe I should cheat and start having 2 3s and 2 2s and 2 or 3 1s.
You can totally do it. This show is all about you, Eric. You can do whatever you want.
I got to give an honorable mention to Metro Exodus. All right? This game, I had no expectations. In fact, I was like the last-ditch effort to get a game from GameFly when my membership was running out and I had limited time left. Came in, and it was like the only thing they'd send immediately, so I was like, screw it, whatever, I'll just get this. Got it. Blown away. Fantastic game. So much fun. The first-person shooter survival type mechanics to it, instead of just being run around, gun everything down, go bananas. Having to think and having to make sure you're like, okay, where are the baddies? What's going on? Situational awareness, that kind of thing going on before you just go in guns blazing, or don't, or sneak your way all the way through it, because you can do either or, a combination of both. Awesome. The story was super cool, having Russians hanging out with me all the time, drinking bourbons, doing all the craziness. You know that's what I love. And then we were on a train for most of the game. So another thing I love trains. I'm on a train, I'm with Russians, drinking whiskey. God, man. I mean, I'm sure there's vodka too, but I just pretended I was drinking whiskey with them, so whatever. You know what I'm talking about. So great game. Recommend it to everybody. Obviously the shooter stuff on it was fantastic as well. The guns were really like meaty, which is going to be something I bring up later. Spoiler alert. Yeah, but the meaty guns, I love it. I love it when you can just feel the guns in your controller just limited ammo, so you're trying to get good shots. Awesome game. Recommend it to everybody. Kind of went by the wayside. I don't think a lot of people played it. Totally deserves a look at. And it was the one that I fought for a third spot, but alas, here we are. So,
hey, speaking of fighting for a third spot, what you got on your third spot, Danny?
Well, this is tough because my 2 and 3 are fighting for that third spot. But I think I'm going to have to give it to Little Nightmares, which a friend of mine kindly bought for me, and I played on stream, and it was just a really cool little kind of horror-esque game that I, again, would not have picked up unless someone had, pointed it out for me. And I'm really excited because they're making a sequel to it, so I really want to play that one.
Nice.
So yeah, that is my number 3, and I don't think I'll ever play it again because it was creepy as hell, but it was a lot of fun.
Hey, but you got through it. That's
yeah,
what matters.
I did. All right, Eric, what's your number 3?
All right, so here we are. I'm cheating. That's not fair.
That's unacceptable. That's bull.
Yeah.
It's too hot. I couldn't do it. It's too hot.
Look at him. He's sweating to death. He's almost dead over here.
Also, the zipper broke, so it was very hard to get out of there. That's why I was fussing with it, because it splits every now and then. It does like the I'm not zipped, but I am zipped.
Oh,
but
goodness.
I have to have headgear, so he'll remain on my head. But other than that, okay, sorry.
So I'm cheating, and it's a mild cheat. I wanted to do it, but I couldn't figure it out. Persona 4 Golden. All right. This is a weird one because I started this game 2 years ago, but I finished it this year. And I played the most of it this year because I went all nuts when we were camping all summer long. So this one is definitely going to be in my third spot, but I have to put a second one with it. And of course, that's going to be Jedi Fallen Order. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. These two games, fantastic. Real quick, Persona 4 I've talked about a million times. It's like Persona 5, not quite as good in my own opinion, but it also might just be because I played 5 before I played 4. You know how it goes. Your baby's your baby. It's just the way it is. But I did enjoy every bit of the story. Love the characters, the music, everything we've always talked about with Persona was in this one. And the only downside I'll say, which I've said before, was that the end, I think, dragged on too much. I think when it should have just went ahead and let you finish, it was like, no. Hey, let's keep on going. And you're like, oh, well, I'm good. But besides that, a great game. Awesome. Just can't keep playing these 140-hour games, though. Holy moly. And I'm going to be playing one again in another month or two, so it doesn't really matter. Oh, well. But Star Wars Fallen Order, wow. They did it. They finally made a Star Wars game that's freaking good. And I wasn't expecting it. Hey, come on, Matt. What?
A Star Wars action game that's good.
What Star Wars game is good out there?
Knights of the Old Republic. Shut your mouth.
Oh, I'm talking about in the recent history, not in 400 years ago, man. I'm talking about like...
Also, the Old Republic, which is still going. It's still going strong, man. Just get in there, play for free, Become a subscriber.
Once again, though, if you think about it, that's like 10 years old now. it's ancient, you know. So recently, they've not made a Star Wars game that's really just popped and knocked it out of the park. This one did. The characters, the story, fantastic. The Jedi, you know, mind tricks and all the fun magic was good. I wish they'd done more. And the reason why I wish they'd done more is because another game did a lot more and made you feel Jedi-like. And this one doesn't quite have that same pack and punch. All the same, a great game, awesome controls, awesome the boss battles, and it has that like mix where it's trying to be kind of like, you know, Sekiro or you know, the Souls games and stuff, but not to that extent. A little more actiony and fun, but it's still really challenging if you want it to be. But if you don't, you can just bloop 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 all the way up to easy mode and walk through the park, and then just enjoy the story for what it is. The ending is awesome. I knew I've been spoiled because, of course, commercials pretty much show you everything in a game all the time now. So I knew that a particular thing was going to happen to an extent, but I didn't know like how it was all going to go down and what the scene was going to play out. Like, great. It was a great time. I enjoyed it. At the very end, I was like, man, I want to come back. I want to play more. But I don't want to play more of that game right there. But I wanted to play like more story. So that was why it's only in third, is because I want to play more of the story, but it didn't draw me in to actually go back, get the collectibles, find all the rest of the secrets, do all the stuff. I was like, no, I'm powerful. I beat the crap out of this game, playing it on, you know, hard mode, so it wasn't like I was baby. And I was like, I'm done. I did it. So fantastic game, not quite up there at the number one as you see at a number 3. So those are my 2 number 3s. Sorry, I cheated. Couldn't help it. It's too much. It's too much.
You're not going to be the only one, I think.
Yeah. What about you, Matt? What's your 3s, huh?
It's pretty disgusting that you cheated, but I guess if you're going to do it,
you might as well follow suit. I know.
Well, one of my number 3s is, of course, Persona 4 Golden. For all the reasons you said, I liked it. I actually like I've said it before. I like the character interactions a little bit more than 5 because all the characters just feel like real people, like going through real situations. It's not as overblown and, you know, big hyped stuff as 5, but it's just, I felt happy and like I felt like I was at home with my buddies anytime I played Persona 4. Running around, hanging out with Yosuke and Chie and all the other crazies in there. Just a fantastic time. Loved every second of it. Still haven't beaten it, but hey, you know, it's number 3 just because I spent, gosh, I'm in like the 80-something 90-hour mark, and I'm still loving it. It's still great. I just need to just power through. But my other number 3, it's Nier Automata. And I feel like I wrote it down as an honorable mention, but then I went, no, that whole ending sequence, like I explained it on the What You Playing, how you basically take all your experiences with that game and send them off to help other players get through the ending of their game, because all these players came and helped you. All these players did it, so you were able to get through the ending, and now you have the chance to take all your save data and everything from your game and send it out to help somebody else that you don't even know. And it's just, there's no other game that's ever done that. And it was really, I wouldn't say like emotional, but I was just like, wow, this is awesome. This is amazing. And then just plus the battle system was outstanding. The combat was great. All the story all the way through was really cool. I loved seeing like here's these robots and they had a mission and now their mission's over. What happens to them in these hundreds of years since? What happens? What goes wrong? Just the base story was awesome. The culmination of it was incredible, unlike anything I'd ever seen before. So it's got to be on the list. It's more than an honorable mention, but it can't break through past number 3. So Persona 4 Golden, Nier Automata, it's my RPG 3 slot right there. Biggity bam boom.
I'll tell you what though, man. I didn't even play Nier Automata, but watching you play it, I have memories of it. Which tells me that it was a dang good game, because otherwise I'd just watch, oh, that's neat, okay, and then totally forgotten. But no, I still am like, hey, that was just good. That was cool, yeah. If I didn't watch you play probably 60% of it, I'd probably get it and play it. But
And it's weird for me because obviously I played through it. I have all the memories of it. But in everything that I've played since, it kind of went whoosh. So when I was going through my trophy list, I was like, what all have I played this year? I saw it, and they all just came flooding back. And I was like, oh my God, how am I not still playing it for like second time to, going through the trophy list, doing all the side quests, getting all the this, the that, the this, the that, all the stuff I wanted to do in that first playthrough before I sent everything away. I was like, man, I need to just download it again and just play through it all over
one more
again.
time. Exactly.
And our buddy Real 10K Beers over here, he's only played 4 to 5 games in the last year. That'd be his whole best games list. Hey, man, send it in to us at info@thirdshift.net. No, and it's not that time of the show. Send your list to us so we can check it out. Tell us what games you've been playing. Hey, put it in the chat right now.
Exactly.
I'll read it. Screw it. What else am I going to do? Throw it to Danny for her number 2? Shoot.
I don't know. You could. All right. So my number 2 is a game that I actually started in 2017.
Cool.
Another one of those games. It is Tales of Berseria, and I can too, because I have a lot of games that I try to get back into, and I'm like, I really just have to start this game over if I want to really enjoy it. But I didn't feel that way with Berseria. I was able to jump back into the storyline, and the only complaint I have about that game is the battle system. I still don't understand how the combos work and all that stuff. But I mean, I was able to get through it with, leveling up my items and finding all the good stuff for my characters, and the story alone was pretty cool. And
Just get the best weapons and you push the button lots of times.
exactly. That's how it works.
You just hammer the strong attack
Exactly,
button. You just go, yeah.
I'm playing.
So that was great. I'm happy that I got through it and played the whole game instead of it just sitting on my shelf collecting dust. It made me excited for the next Tales games that are coming out.
Tales of Arise this year.
Arise, yeah.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
really excited. So yeah, that's my number 2. How about you, Eric?
We're back to me. Whoa.
Yes.
But Matt's interjecting.
Uh-oh.
Now, before Eric goes, I do have to mention that our buddy Real 10K Beers took the bait.
Oh.
And he says his honorable mention for this year is Bulletstorm Full Clip Edition. An outstanding game.
Fantastic
And a very good honorable choice. I didn't even say that with the full golden mask on because I approve of your pick so much.
I've been wanting to play that game again. It's
Yeah.
like, it's calling to me. I've already beat it 3 times. And yet I'm like, man, I want to go through that one more time. I could do it. I want to go through
to
the Duke
get back
again.
in that anarchy mode.
Yes. Oh, that would be a good time
Get
too.
all the trophies out of that.
See, there you go. Great job there, Real K. That was awesome. So for number 2, I'm cheating again because I can. Look, man, I play a lot of games, and a lot of them are amazing games. I've told you this. I've told everybody that listens to this. I don't play the weird out there games that I go, oh, that's just neat, and then I walk away. I go and play the giant mega games that are always up for Game of the Year. Always, I can't help it. All right, and these 2 make sense anyway because it's Wolfenstein Youngblood. And it's frickin' Borderlands 3, alright? And these games are in the same spot for the same reason. I played the hell out of them. I played them by myself. I played them with friends. I had lots of laughs in both of them. I love the gun mechanics in both of them for very different reasons. Wolfenstein Youngblood, like I said, a meaty, just boom, 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 boom. Switching from light to heavy. I love it. Killing Nazis, blood everywhere, gore, all sorts of weird random things. Posters all over the walls that are hilarious. Tons of fun. Feet in buckets. This is a dream. It's a dream come true game. You drink beers, you play this with a buddy, you're going, look at this, feed the bucket, wow! There's nothing better than that. Or when a man gets shot and his butt goes in the air and he's like, and his butt's wiggling, he's doing like a twerking thing, and you're like, making fun of his dead corpse, as he's twerking. Fantastic. I loved it. When we beat the game, like, drunk, it's just, nothing's more fun than going, this guy's really complicated. Oh my God. You don't even know really what he's doing. But yeah, at the end of it and like flashing and before my eyes and he's dead on the ground. I'm like, wow, man, we did it. Whoa, I'm tired and now I want to go to bed, but he's dead. A lot of good memories with that game. More to come because we still got some additional little DLC that they handed out to us. Borderlands 3, of course, we waited years for this game. It was just build up. Finally arrives. It was everything it should be. Awesome graphics, looked great, looter shooter. They were dropping freaking legendaries everywhere. My curse is broken. Every time I log on, I get a legendary too, which it's funny. I'll make mention here that right now everybody on the internet's like, we need to nerf Borderlands 3 and get rid of the legendaries, and I'm like, I hate all of you. I hate all of you. I finally get to the point where I get 1 or 2 legendaries. You'll go when I play for a couple hours. And now everyone's like, we need to nerf them to the ground because I get usually 200 to 300 in a play session. I'm like, well, then stop playing for $8. Stop it. Stop playing on Mayhem 4 with your Mega Ran, crazy OP stuff and getting on 200 legendaries. I don't know what to tell you. Stop it. Yeah. The normal people like me, I get 1 or 2 in 2 hours or so of play. Man, that's perfect. That feels great. You know you're going to get rewarded, and you get a little reward. And maybe they suck, too. That's the best part about Borderlands 3 is, you know, you never know what you're going to get. Except for now, you do know on the boss fights, but you know what I mean. Could be anything.
Right.
So, I had a ton of fun with that game. We've got all the DLC coming, so it's just like that little cookie that you can keep picking up and eating. Like I said, we just got through this new DLC with the heist. I'm not quite finished. I'm almost there. And then we haven't even done the Melalon takedown yet, so we're still trying to beat that thing. All sorts of candy for us. Of course, we've been covering and waiting for it forever. It has to be on this list because it's such a moment in my life at this time in this last year. Because we've done covered it for years and years and years and waited and waited and waited. So now forevermore, even when this podcast goes away forever, it'll be like, man, I remember we did that show and we was like, man, years and years coming up with stuff and wondering where the hell this game was. And for that reason alone, it's going to be there because it's such a thing for me. So those are my 2, Matt. And I don't care. I did it.
Well, before I get to my number 2, our buddy Real 10 Key Beers chimed in with third place, which is Shadow of the Colossus Remastered. I haven't played that specific version of it, played the original. Fantastic game. Loved it. So if it looks better, hey, more power to him. And then his second place is the game that I'm not ever going to mention. I can't say the
Destiny
name.
2. Yeah.
Stop it. No.
Good choice, sir. Good choice. I appreciate it very, very much. All right? Let me just tell you. What a fantastic game that Destiny 2 is. Shadow of the Colossus, I played it the original one, and it was too sad. It's too much for me, you know?
Yeah,
I couldn't. When they did the remaster, I was excited for it, but I was like, I can't play it again. I didn't appreciate murdering these poor innocent creatures because I'm some kind of psychopath.
Yeah, like I always say, I made it through about 2/3 the game, and I never finished it. And it wasn't just one of the usual, like, oh, something else came along. Something did, but I also went, man, this is fun, but I feel really bad every time I do this. So I don't think I'm going to finish it. I can see where it's going, obviously, but it was just, okay, I'm done. I had fun for a while, and then,
ripping that poor pterodactyl creature out of the sky. Man, he's a poor guy. He didn't deserve that.
So for my number 2, I could cheat and be like you, Eric, but my number 2 is Wolfenstein Youngblood Alone. I've tweeted out earlier this year that it is Drunk Matt's game of the year. So, I mean, Drunk Matt is basically half of me all the time. So he's got to get at least number 2 on the list. And for all the reasons that you mentioned, all the reasons that I mentioned all through, you know, ever since it came out, since I've been playing it with you, it's so meaty and loud and obnoxious and over the top and fun. It is like a cheesy 80s action movie the whole way through, and you get to be the star of it. You get to do all the ridiculous things, and it feels so good. It feels so meaty and weighty and punchy and loud and just and hard and just it's just great. Like you said, I'll never forget the bucket of feet and hands. I'll never forget being in the subway in those tunnels where it was dark and us busting out laughing for like 3 minutes straight because a dude got blown in half and we were just looking at the chunks of him, like looking at the bloody chunks of his torso. You had your flashlight just trained down straight at the ground. I ran over. What are we looking at?
Oh, yes.
That memory will live forever. The sisters will live forever. The Blazkowicz sisters.
Oh my
It's
God.
Who gets the
It's
bottom?
the
Who gets the
perfect-
top? You know, gee, what a struggle!
Oh my
the
God.
struggle!
every single time we get it, I would just run. It's like I'm not even looking at what they're doing. I had the left stick forward and punched in, ready to run, so I would never get them out.
It's rude, rude,
just-
sir.
Just a ridiculous, fantastic game, making your guns all kinds of crazy colors, making your suits all the stupid colors, just jumping around, double jumping around, being a moron. I'll never forget just running and just sliding into every room.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I did. Just run and slide and shotgun. Oh, wait, there's a giant robot dog here. Help me, Eric. I'm dead.
Yeah,
Just
sounds
or
about right.
slide in. Everybody's dead in here. And then the next wave would come. But just, it was so much fun, so over the top, so amazing. Wolfenstein Youngblood has to be my number 2. I mean, it's almost, it's not my number 1, but it's like number 1 inside my heart.
I was going to say, for just straight up funsies, it would be number 1.
Yeah.
But
yes, exactly.
As a video game, which I take into account as well, and how well made it is, et cetera, it can't be my just straight up number 1. So,
yeah, my number 1's a much longer and larger game, so I take the fun of all that versus the chunks of fun I had with Wolfenstein. Can't really compare them, so it gets a big old high spot on my list with number 2, but it can't be number 1. And speaking of number 1, heyo. What's your number 1, Danny?
My number 1 is Fallout 76.
Oh my, how? What?
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I couldn't hold a straight face through that.
I'm like, what are you talking about? You've lost it. You've lost it.
No, my number 1 is, of course, Borderlands 3. And even more so now because of the Moxie DLC that came out. I really wish the game was more like that DLC. There was just so much about that DLC that I loved. I spent a lot of time on that DLC this past week, and I 100%ed the DLC,
Nice.
which usually takes me forever.
Is there a platinum? Is there a platinum?
No, I wish.
Platinum for DLC? No? Oh, man.
And I'm also about 76% away from hitting platinum on the main game itself. I just have a lot of stuff to go through. What?
You mean you're 76% toward
it? Sorry.
You said 76%
Not away.
away.
I was like,
hey,
well, why is she mentioning Chuck, I was just sitting there like, why would she say she still has 76%? I mean, she hasn't really done anything. Are you really going to get that
I've
platinum?
completed 76% of the trophies. So
There you go.
yeah, I mean, I enjoyed Borderlands 3 as a whole. I don't know. I do feel like the game the main story itself kind of left off. I kind of feel like there should be more to it, but maybe that's because there's more DLCs and other things to it. I don't know. That's just how I feel about the story itself.
There are more DLCs that are going to pertain straight to
Right.
it because in our interview with Randy Varnell, he said exactly that.
He didn't say exactly that, but he did say exactly that.
Yeah, he said not that, but he said it. So whatever.
So maybe that will solve this kind of... I feel like there's a hole left in the story. There's just a little bit more that I need. So hopefully the DLCs will remedy that. But I put a lot of time into that game. I'm still going to put a lot of time into that game. And yeah, that's why it's my number 1.
Fantastic. It's a solid, noble number 1.
Yes, it is. How about you, Eric? What's your number 1?
Oh, you guys know what it is. Oh, I don't even gotta say it. Control. Jeez, oh, Pete. I've been psyched. Unlike everybody else on the internet, I've been paying attention to this game forever. I've been watching it since it was introduced to the world and just paying attention to where it was going, what was going on, watching and listening to all the little feedback and, bloops and blops that they would do. Came out, and it was everything I wanted it to be. This game was gorgeous. Immediately you step in and you're the director. There ain't no huss and no fuss. You go, hey, I'm going upstairs to talk to this big dog. Oh, the big dog's dead. Surprise, you're the director now. Boom. And right there in the beginning, and I won't spoil nothing, but I'll say, right in the beginning, you meet a character who is fantastic. I mean, this guy is just the teats. If I could work with him, I'd be the happiest man alive. Okay?
That's true. That's true.
It would be all
You know what?
gravy.
That should be your tick. That should be your gimmick at work.
Oh,
You just say stuff like him. That's it.
that's what I do. You're right. I got it.
That's
All
it.
right, I'm going to practice. Whew, it's going to be good. So, yes. He's awesome. He makes the story just great. And then throughout it, you'll get to see him again with his little side stuff and everything else. I won't mention, who I'm talking about, but let it be known. He's amazing. You'll know who I'm talking about if you ever play it. The combat in this game, all right, this is where everything goes crazy. This is where it shines. This is what I was referring to earlier when I was talking about the Star Wars. You start getting these abilities to fly, to push, to grab and throw objects. You get a gun that has all sorts of cool abilities to shift into different types of guns, and then you can power them up. But the abilities, when you start getting them and you're able to start flying and buzzing around and throwing things at, the smaller enemies, the larger enemies, all that, you feel like an all-powerful Jedi warrior. You feel like some kind of demigod just in this place destroying stuff. And when I say destroy stuff, I mean they took their time. When you throw a table, it's throwing coffee mugs all over the place. Plants are shattering its walls. The walls are busting in and caving in. Doors are coming off their hinges. It's awesome. If you see enemies through like this giant pane glass window like room, it's not like most games where it's, he's in the room and you got to run through the door. Nope. Just throw something through the windows. Shatter. Dead enemy. Awesome. The hiss are like this weird, just terrifying, like just strange things that you never really get to understand. Even at the end, you're still just like, what in the hell? These things still make no sense. You still are asking questions, which I think is good in a game. If at the end, you're going, what's this? Why is that? What's going on? I mean, what? That means you like it, and that means you want to play more of it and understand more of it. And of course, when you mention the hiss, you mention the enemy of the hiss, which is the board. This strange pyramid, which you see on the cover. Super cool. I've come to the conclusion, I think it has something to do with the developers are part of the board. It's like kind of a weird in-joke because every time the board talks to you, they give you like 2, sometimes more, sentences about what they're trying to convey, like the feelings and or mission. And one's like some weird alien, like if an alien was trying to talk to you and it didn't really understand your language. And then the other's like if it was some kind of hipster or a-hole trying to tell you something, or sometimes being comical or funny. It's super cool, super weird. You don't have a clue what is going on. It never explains really like what the board is or why we've decided to listen to it and follow its instructions and rules. I don't know. We just do, which is really cool in and of itself. I can go on forever, but I want to make sure Matt gets some here. So
now I want to say Control's got to be an honorable mention for me for all the reasons you just said.
Well, get out of here.
I mean,
no,
it is, but I knew you were going to talk about it so much that I didn't want to touch it. But when you mentioned the board, it just puts a smile on my face. Anytime I think of that dopey triangle coming down and then going away, and it's a little way of talking. I saw an ad on Instagram for some company, and the logo in the ad was a big, giant, inverted black pyramid. And I went, and it flashed me all the way back to talking to the board on the hotline. And I just went, oh, God.
so good.
I just want to play it again. I just want to play it more.
Yeah, exactly. And
it says something that you lent it to me, and I beat it. And then immediately the next day I checked the price on Amazon to see if I could get it. I've already played through like 80-90% of it, but I have to have it. I have it now. I had to have it. It's just that damn good for all the reasons you said.
It is. It is a fantastic game. You learn to love Jessie. The way she conveys the emotions and stuff, and they get the close-ups to her, and she's like talking in her head. Spot on, perfect, really gets you in there. All the other characters are really wacky. They seem normal, but all of them have their tics and weird things they're doing. So you always question, like, are they really good? Like, cause all this is real strange. You're always kind of uneasy, like, these people just aren't right. Some ain't right. All of them are just odd in some strange way, but you still grow to depend on them. Come back to them, hang out with them, talk to them. Even if you don't need to, I'll click the conversations, make sure I roll through everything so I get all the chats. And that's definitely telling you something because most games, everybody does it. Click, click, blah, 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 clickety, click, click, and then they move on. But they have actual conversation, which is what you and I or anybody else would talk to each other like. Swearing, weird crap, this and that. It's all there. So, like I said, I can keep going and going and going. Combat's fantastic. The gameplay's freaking fantastic. The atmosphere with the reds and the colors they use, amazing. And of course, the music, God, just so good.
What about every time you went to a new area and it went, giant text on the screen. This is the area.
So good.
It made me jump every time, but I was like,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
This is where I am.
I was like nervous, but then also like, I can't wait to see what's in here. What's
all the boss fights out of this world. Just crazy. Tomasi and all them, the Anchor. Just crazy fights. Just make no sense. Some easy, some are really hard. You never really know what you're about to jump into. Oh, man. And then, one of the best parts, Threshold Kids. Just amazing. Just so scary. I honestly don't like watching them because they scare me. I don't like the Threshold Kids. They bother me. They make me feel uneasy.
But then I found like the second one I ever found was with like Uncle Mr. Bones, and he made me like jump up and cheer. I love Uncle Mr. Bones. Shut up, kid. Ah! Amazing, awesome.
The game's out of this world. The Dr. Darling, all of his scenes, especially towards the end, just
Oh my
just
god,
crazy. You're gonna be smiling and at the edge of your seat the whole time. This game had it all for me. Definitely game of the year. I didn't expect it to be game of the year. I thought it was going to be amazing, but I didn't think it was going to be like rocking my world so crazy cool. I thought it was going to be just like Alan Wake was. A really good game, had a lot of fun with it, and was going to move on. But no, this game, I'm like, oh, I'm in. DLCs, expeditions, we're on it. We're on it like Donkey Kong. So there you go.
Yep.
That, boys and girls, is my game of the year. Control, get out there and get it. I'm telling you, it's a great game. And Matt, finally, the disappointment of the night. Come to you.
Oh, shut your mouth.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Hey, you got me so excited. I want to say Control's my game.
You didn't even mention it. I'm just like stroking out over here.
I don't know why, because it is so good, but I think everything else was just, it all lined up. And then Control was also like, hey. And I went, but everything was in the tower. You can't,
I already have it.
You can't shoot and Jenga down my tower. Stop it. Plus, I knew you would talk about it, and I'd get to talk about it too, so it's great. Hey, it's perfect. Works for me. But my game of the year this year, there was no doubt. I teased it at least halfway through the year that this was going to be my game of the year. It continues to be my game of the year without question. It was the first game, according to my trophy list, that I ever played this year. I played it on New Year's Day, and I streamed it for 23 episodes on Twitch. It's Thronebreaker: The Witcher Tales.
I wondered if you were. I was literally going to wait till the show was over to go, didn't you play Thronebreaker this year? That was a really cool game.
There was no question. This was number one as soon as I was playing it. It was number one, and it never faded from number one. Because this is everything I love about The Witcher and CD Projekt Red games. The world building, just the story, the way it's presented, the like almost like picture book or board game setting. It's so beautiful and so wonderful and so thrilling and engaging and emotional. It has all the things that I loved about The Witcher, but in an even cooler setting with an even cooler battling mechanic. When I saw that deck of cards I could make, I was on stream, so I went, oh man, this looks really cool, neat, ha ha ha. But then as soon as I went off stream, I went back in that deck builder and I looked at every single card and all its abilities. And I went, God damn, this card could synergize with this one. And then you could use that one that you just pulled from this card to get the other one going. And you could ramp it up. This card lets you make duplicates. So when you draw duplicates, you get more. Blah, blah, blah. There's so many strategies and different ways to play that game too. It's just, it's absolutely phenomenal in every way that appeals to me. Everything about it. Like I went back and over the past week watched some of my, my stream footage of it. And as soon as I heard that opening title music, as soon as I, heard all the sound effects for loading up the game, I got chills up my spine again. I was like, fuck, I need to play this again. And I've already played it through twice in a row. I played it through on stream, and then I had missed like 2 or 3 trophies. And I went, no, I'm starting a new game. I'm doing it all over again so I can platinum this bastard and do everything that I possibly can in this game. I went back and did it immediately. I love this game like nothing else. Just the variety of ways to play it. Like, when I found my awesome setup that carried me through 90% of the game of just destroying everybody, then the last boss had a mechanic where if you destroyed a card, they just pull a new one out immediately. So I went, oh shit. I tried it twice, couldn't beat him, went back into my deck builder, and there's like I said, there's an infinite possibility of strategies that you can make. And I looked online, they were like, oh, make this weird, cool strategy. I was like, I don't like that one. But if I use this card and this card and this card and this card and this card, I can cobbledy and higgledy-piggledy something together. And I did it, and I beat that bastard, that last boss, in one try without even a sweat. Destroyed him. With a strategy I'd never touched before. Never even thought about using. And I looked at it, and I pieced it all together, and I made it work. And it was a great moment. You can still catch it at youtube.com/DocFunky. Look at that last one. You can hear the joy in my voice. I'm pumping my fist. I almost jumped off the couch. I was so happy. Nothing else has made me do that all year. This game is phenomenal. I will love it till the end of time. I will never forget it. It's Thronebreaker: The Witcher Tales, man. That's game of the year for me.
I don't
absolutely.
even typically play, obviously, card game type games, but man, watching you play that game, it was awesome. It was such a good time checking it out, watching your character go through there, and just getting the recruits, and then deciding whether like to punish them, not punish them, and then the repercussions that would come with that. And then, oh man, just the battles and seeing how I loved how the fights had like certain things you had to do. Like, they weren't all just, hey, here's your army versus this army. It was like, nope, you got 3 turns to make this person get on fire, do whatever, and you got to use your cards to do the mission instead of just, hey, win the battle, go. I loved that. I loved the diversity it threw in there.
And that's what was perfect about it, because I didn't even mention it right now, so I'm glad you did. The puzzle battles with their own unique setups, unique decks for you. They would give you resources and cards you'd never used before, or maybe Meve had a new ability that you never used because she can get like 6 or 7 in the game. You'd be like, oh, that's what that does, and now I can see in this little microcosm of the entire game how this would all strategize together. And then there were some of those puzzle battles had mechanics that were not anywhere else in the game, but it just kept everything so fresh. There was a puzzle battle where it was Hearthstone. You played a game of Hearthstone, literally, and it was like, awesome, that's great. This is what everyone thought this would be, and it's not. But then look, hey, we can do it just as well as they can. It's amazing. Everything about this game is f***ing amazing.
Just amazing.
Wow.
God bless. And that's why it's the game of the year.
I'm sweating even more talking about Thronebreaker than I ever did doing anything else. Oh,
goodness.
God.
Well, I'm glad you brought it up. I'm glad you got it out there because, like I said, I was like, he didn't say Control, so it must be Game of the Year, but I don't understand why he didn't mention Thronebreaker. I was like, it's got to be somewhere there.
Oh, it was.
So
there's no question.
Just sat on one front tonight, that's all. But happy on the other.
So, hey, before we close it out tonight, I see our buddy Real 10K Beers in the chat says, hey, next predict your favorite game for 2020. His is The Wolf Among Us 2. Anybody got any predictions real quick?
I do. Oh, man. It's a toughie because there are a lot of good games coming out next year. At this moment in time, I have a suspicion that my favorite game's probably going to be 1 or 2 games. Persona 5 Royal. Yes. Because you know what? It's a new game, new characters, new semester.
That's
I
right.
get to add it in there. And probably the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Because if they do it right, Final Fantasy VII holds a special place in my heart. So if they do it right, I feel like I'm just going to just get transferred into a whole nother world, a whole nother realm, and I'm going to be in Magic Land. If they do it wrong, it's going to explode, and I'm going to kill it and hate it, and I'm not going to be happy.
So will everyone else.
So, that could go really one way or the other, because even if it's okay and just a meh, it's still a huge loss, because now I'm like, well, now the kids these days won't understand what that game was, and that sucks. So I'm hoping one of those 2. It could be many others. I mean, you know me, I'm going to play all the greatest games there are, so I could go on and on, but I'll just stick with those for the moment. What about you, Danny?
Final Fantasy VII Remake is one that I'm anticipating on playing. I don't know if it'll be my game of the year, but another one that I'm really looking forward to is Cyberpunk 2020.
2077. God bless him.
2082.
You're not even looking forward to it. You don't even know.
Cyberpunk. I have it pre-ordered, so
I bought it already, whatever it was. I'm going to play it.
I'm sorry, Keanu Reeves has me flustered, so I can't remember anything.
That's why you bought it, isn't it? You saw Keanu Reeves, man. Wow.
You know, you're probably gonna have to shoot him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
that's
suspect
okay.
you're going to get rid of him eventually somehow.
As long as the story's good, I don't care how it goes. So I think it's either going to be that one or it could be Tales of Arise, depending on how they take the Tales formula and make it new or modern or, however they're going to work it. I was really excited when I saw that trailer and didn't realize it was a Tales game until they actually threw up the title. So yeah, those are two that I'm anticipating will be my game of next year. How about you, Matt?
Well, I have to say Persona 5 Royal because I just can't wait to see my friends again. I can't wait to, even though I'm going to meet them again, I can't wait to just do that all over again. Obviously, there will be new events and new things to go do and all that stuff. But I just can't wait to see Ryuji and Anne and Doofus and Dingleberry and all my friends.
Makoto,
I can't wait
Haru, I miss you
I can't
guys.
wait to see-
Morgana.
I can't wait to see Takemi again. I can't wait to see her in her sexy punk doctor outfit. Oh my god! Fall in
Can't
love
have the
all
same
over
wife
again.
again. No, we gotta change it.
Yeah, I'll totally go with somebody else.
Yeah, me
Yeah,
too.
exactly. I'll totally change my character that I fall in love with.
So I can't wait for that. That's just a given. I wasn't even thinking about Cyberpunk 2077, but it is a CD Projekt Red game. So far, I've loved every single game they've ever done. So that's got to be a strong contender, possibly. I'm just not sure how the gameplay itself will work out, but we'll see more, and I'll play it, obviously, when it comes out. And I think the only other thing that pops into my brain, I don't know if it'll be released next year, but I could see it being like a late year release. Persona 5 Scramble.
Exactly.
Every time I see footage
Looks
of it,
great.
even if it's just a 2-second GIF from Persona Central Twitter account, I watch it like 10 times in a row because it's more Persona 5 and it's new Persona 5 stuff. Like it's still all my friends, so I get to see him again. But now I get to see him in a totally new area, doing totally new stuff with totally new gameplay. I want it so bad. Every time I see something, I get chills. I'm like, yes, this is what I want. I want that to be my game of the year because I want it to be out sometime.
It's a year
next
later in the summertime, right? They're all visiting each other, traveling in an RV. I mean, what's not to like?
And then they also go up to Sapporo where it's all snowy. Like, did you see
I
that
saw
stuff this
that.
year? Or
Yeah, I know what you're
today,
talking
not
about
this
today.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah. But every time I see a new video, I get so excited for it. So I really hope that's out there so that can be my game of the year because it'll be all new, fresh Persona 5 action. I just really hope. I mean, it doesn't matter when it comes out. I'm going to play it and it'll be game of the year that year.
Whatever year it's out.
But I really
probably.
hope it's. I hope it's sooner rather than later. Oh man.
I agree. I hope it's a fall game, early fall game. I don't want it to get in the way of the Persona. I mean, not the Persona, the PlayStation 5. So I want there to be a nice little streak where I can play it and focus on it before PlayStation hits, and then I'm like, I gotta get on whatever the new release is for PlayStation 5.
I hope it comes out at that exact same time so I can be like, hey man, I can't play PlayStation 5. I ain't got no time. I gotta play Persona 5 Scramble.
I don't even want to think about that whole thing again. When you gonna get the PlayStation? Oh, someday, dude.
When they get a Batman game out for it, then I'll get it. Hey, to my credit, I did do that. I kept my word.
Yeah, you did.
It came out and I got it.
You kept missing all the games that were good before it. That was sad.
You know what games? Who plays games?
It's fine.
Oh, so that's our game of the years. That's it. That's
We
the
did it.
show.
We did it,
Unless
everybody.
anybody has any other
And of course,
predictions or anything in chat that pops up.
The Wolf Among
It's
Us
time to
2
close- it's time to wrap it
10K.
up.
Before you close it up, I don't think we mentioned what it actually was. Wolf Among Us 2, you got super lucky with because that freaking company's gone and dead, and then out of the blue, somebody's like, "No, I'll throw a bunch of money at it and revive them and get some of the people back and make this game." I can't believe it's happening. I mean, I hope it keeps the integrity and what made Telltale awesome because they're only getting some of the people coming back. Obviously, a lot of people moved on, so I'm interested to see where it goes. Obviously, they're probably gonna be using new engines, so on and so forth. I look forward to it, but
Which would be awesome. I would love to see them update it. Because Wolf Among Us 2 was right at the point where they started using that same engine for everything. And everything started to get, not stale like in a storytelling way, but just, this is what a Telltale game looks like.
And operates as.
I'm excited to see that evolve. And hey, if that's a success, maybe they could do another one, but not as crazy as they did before, where they took on like 76 licenses all at once.
Yeah.
Just make one solid, awesome game a year. That would be amazing.
I agree with that. So we'll see. I'm going to give it a shot because I enjoyed the Telltale games I did play. So I'm interested to see what this one does, but it all depends when it falls. With all these games, you know, Doom 2, Cyberpunk, et cetera, it's real dodgy for me this year. Tales of Arise, I actually want to play that one. You know, I've been kind of skipping on Tales lately, but this one's probably going to bring me back. It's going to be a great year, folks. It's going to be a great year. God, I can't wait.
Yeah, absolutely it is. And hey, for all of you out there who weren't here live with us in the stream, what are your games of the year? What are you looking forward to in 2020? Let us know via email at info@thirdshift.me, tweet at us at thirdshiftme, and find us on Facebook under Third Shift.
Indeed you can. You can also find us over on Patreon. You like what you hear, like what we're up to, consider throwing $1, $2, $3, $5, or the coveted $1 million, in which case we will open up a food line, and we will have cold cocks in an aisle. We will have babies in jars in an aisle. We will have all these things. We'll have a mascot running around in a suit. We'll have koi fish. We've got reality TV cameras. It's all coming together. It's going to be a great time. You just got to throw us $1 million. That's all you got to do, everybody. Not hard.
That's it.
You know how many people there are with $1 million out there? A ton. We're not one of them. Make us one of them, and we'll have a food line up and running. Yes, that felt good. You know what? I like that.
Hell yeah.
If you cannot do any of that, though, that's awesome. We understand. You got to pay bills. Christmas just went by. Everyone's broke. Everyone's out there, shooting that blood out, like I said last time around, trying to make the money back. I understand. You can support us with the 5-star ratings over there on the iTunes, the likes. Stop it. And all that other.
Speaking of guys shooting that blood out to make that money, I saw that happen in real life. Someone was so desperate to get to the plasma center over at Jolly and Cedar that they almost got run over by a semi-truck.
See, he'd been shooting that blood out.
It didn't work. Somebody was turning left, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we can make it." Oh god! And I was like, "Oh man, all your plasma would have been all over the road, brother."
He wouldn't have been worth nothing no more. I don't know.
I would have just got out my little shopping bags, just
scoop it up. Hey, you guys take
hot plasma coming
use
through.
Plasma, it's fine. It's got some dirt in it. That's all right.
You guys filter it out anyway. You do that magic radiation,
times,
microwave stuff.
Measures,
Who knows?
Right? Yeah.
That's right.
Gosh. So yes, you can support us in all sorts of other ways. We do appreciate it very, very much. Keeps us motivated. Keeps us smiling. Coming at you every single week.
Absolutely. And of course, this podcast drops every Friday. So we'll be back in your ear holes on the 3rd of January for our very next episode. Oh my goodness. New year, new us. And it'll be a special episode as well, just like this one was. What do we do when the new year comes around? New Year's resolutions, baby.
Oh,
Gaming
boy.
resolutions, real life resolutions. Hey, we'll have progress on our previous resolutions. Did any of us make
Did we
it?
do
Did
anything?
any of us do anything we ever said?
Did we do anything right?
Find out. Find out, and maybe find out live if I can just cajole these guys into making it live on the 5s, so we will be held accountable by your faces, seeing our faces live on Twitch. Maybe we'll do it, maybe we won't. But check out that episode. And you can find that episode in audio version on iTunes, on Stitcher, on Podbean, on Spotify, and on YouTube. And as I always say, if you like what we're doing and you'd like to help us out, please give us a like, a rating, a review, a comment, a subscription, any kind of good thing on any of those good services, because it does help us out, and we really do appreciate it. And now it's my favorite time of a live on the whatever show. Danny, tell everybody where they can find you. Tell them your home phone number. Tell them your address. Tell them your kitty's collar size so they can buy your kitty stuff. Tell them where to find you on Tumblr too, because I know you're on the tumble. You tumble all the time. You're tumbling day and night, left and right. You're tumbling like a dryer, girl.
Like a dryer. Make sure you put that dryer sheet in there. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Don't want to be all staticky.
That's right.
Yes,
It's important.
How do people find you, Danny?
You can find me at Uskoi84. That's USA KOI 84. Yes, I love the USA. And yes, I love koi.
Perfect.
Oh, man. Yeah, you can find me on Tumblr. Old stuff. I don't do anything new on there. So, yeah, you can find me there. That's where I am for now. Maybe more places in the future.
There we go. And with that,
Perfect.
everybody, there's nothing left to say, but don't forget to save.
It's the last Don't Forget to
It
Save of the
is.
year, kids. Can you believe it? Oh my God! Last Don't Forget to Save of the decade.
Shut up and sit down.